You know, it's a misnomer that I've done a lot of romantic films. I've thrown a girl off a terrace. I don't have to believe in it, but I have to make you believe that I can do it. It may be old for you that you've seen 6 of them with different actors, but for me it's a new thing. Put out a line which I have in this film, which my father told me, "Jo kuch nahi karte, kamal karte." And the film takes a flight. It goes to some strange space you're not expecting it to go.
Hello and welcome to Hindustan Times Online, Desimartini. My name is Sandip, and today the special guest that I have with me is love personified. He is my heart and the heart of all and sundry. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the one and only, the Dilo ke Badshah, Shah Rukh Khan.
Thank you, Sandip. Thank you very much.
It's an honor to have you.
No, thank you very much for having me on your show.
Right from the days of St. Columbus to this very day, I mean, there have been umpteen films that you've been a part of. The kind of style that you had then, and the kind of style in the way you treat your particular characters right now. So, what is the main difference? I mean, how do you cull it out?
Sandeep, there's no conscious decision to figure out. All films are sign of times. All films are done by different directors at different times. And also what happens to me is I've done certain kind of films, I haven't done certain kind of films. For me to do an action film in a very typical zone is actually a new for me. It may be old for you that you've seen 6 of them with different actors, but for me it's a new thing. As an actor, that's important for me. That I should have been a superhero one day, I should be a fan one day, I should be a zero one day, I should be a hero one day, I should be a comic character one day. And I've always kept it like that. If I wasn't like that, then perhaps I wouldn't have done a Bazigar, I wouldn't have done a Dar, I wouldn't have done a Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na, I wouldn't have done a Chak De India, I wouldn't have done a Swades. So at any given point in time, 2 considerations go into doing a film. One, am I happy and comfortable in the zone of filmmaking because I feel like doing it? Second, the people who are making it, are they going to make me happy or are they just going to do it as a proposal? So more often than not, whenever I've fallen trapped to a proposal, it hasn't worked out, neither for the film nor for me. But sometimes, you know, some very good feeling films have also not worked out, and that's all right because I enjoyed the process. So I try to choose a film where the process is going to be enjoyable and hopefully the result will follow.
How much of the real Shah Rukh was invested in those characters, those iconic characters of Raj and Rahul? I mean,
you know, it's a misnomer that I've done a lot of romantic films. One day Adi was sitting, Adi was sitting with me and he counted that I must have done only 4 romantic films. Typically romantic, Dilwale, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai.
Romantic. Your face is pretty romantic.
Maybe, yeah. So I guess, you know, it's how, and it's how you think romance. I don't think there is any Hindi film which is made without romance. All films have a love story. You know, it could be between a man, woman, it could be between the man and the country, it could be man and a sports team. There are love stories, you know. So somewhere down the line, I think the compartmentalization of a actor who has been working for 25, 30 years is important because you need to give him some kind of recognizable factor. So Dilip Saab is the tragedy king, Amit ji is the angry young man. Because I've been working for so long, in no which way comparing myself to those 2 greats. But you know, you just get a nickname, you know, Salman is Bhai, you know, so you get names like that, which are easier as, how do I say, it's easier for you to describe a feeling that you have invested in those actors initially or what you like them essentially for. But does not mean that that's all that they stand for. So for me personally, I'm not a very romantic person. For me personally, some of the things that I do in film as romance is mainly just being the medium to the writer and the director who really feel that. For me, having essayed a scene like Aur Paas or Tum Nahi Samjhogi Anjali, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, you know, I always tell people who don't, I mean, perhaps they don't believe it, I don't have to believe in what I'm doing. I have to make you believe in what I'm doing. You know, it's as simple as that. So it's not something like when actors tell me, dude, I don't believe in this. You don't have to believe it. Your job as an actor is not to believe it. Your job as an actor is to take it upon yourself to make others believe in it. And there is a difference. And a lot of actors don't understand this when I tell them. So for me, I don't perhaps believe in some of the stories I've done. I've thrown a girl off a terrace. I don't have to believe in it, but I have to make you believe that I can do it. You know, so people forget those bits. People forget that I've run after a girl with a knife in Anjam. People forget I've been a smuggler in some film and been a really bad guy in Dawn. You know, so I kill a girl's brother just by poking poison in his hand and enjoy it. I don't have to believe in it. Why don't people believe I'm that also in real life? So just like I'm not those in real life, or as much as I am that in real life, I'm romantic in real life. So there's no, having said that, there's a part of my heart which understands the writer and the director wanting me to convey that. And I respect that, I love that, and I emotionally invest in that. So to that extent, yes, I'm involved in it. But as a person, I'm quite different from most of the roles that I've played.
So tell me, which one of Anand Al Rai's earlier films have you seen, and which one have you actually liked?
I hadn't seen his films till about 4 months ago. Okay. I saw all his films on one night. So I saw Tannu Weds Manu, Part 1, Part 2 and Ranjana again. I hadn't seen them before. I think Ranjana had a great trip and a good flight. I think it got wavered somewhere in the middle and then again it came back. But it was an interesting thing. I like the imagery in Ranjana when the guy just goes into the river in the scooter and there's this whole little child running in the streets. And the film takes a flight. It goes to some strange space you're not expecting it to go. So I found that film quite interesting. Tannu Weds Manu is classically funny and sweet and really nice, very entertaining.
A certain belief system when you were young, were out from your college and you came down to Bombay, you started off in your foray in films in Bollywood. You had a belief system. Today, do you have the same belief system, or you kind of, there is some kind of a transformation? Or
no, Sandip, there'll always be an evolution. You know, when I, for example, when I was 26 and I started off here, my inclination of life would be find myself some ground to stand on, get myself a house, look after my wife, make a name for myself. But those are all the material tropes. Those are all the things you want to achieve in life. But emotionally, you're more or less same. Because as an actor, what you see me do on screen are experiences of my life from childhood maybe. Some of them which I've been, maybe when I was younger, I didn't think they were important to express in a film. But as I've gotten older, maybe it becomes important for me to put out a line which I have in this film, which my father told me, "Jo kuch nahi karte, kamal karte hai." Okay. So when I was 26, maybe my experience did not remind me of that. You know, no, life is good, let's just do "Aana mere pyar ko na tum jhoota samjho jana." But then, now I'm 50 and there are certain things, even in a movie like Zero, where I'm doing more or less a similar thing in a song, Uffo Khuda, I can think of things. So I think there is an evolution in your desires, in your wants, in your status, in your feeling for things that you feel for. But I think inherently, the early life experiences always remain engraved in your heart. And you can't, like they say, the only race that you can't win is the race against your past. I think that's very true for emotions. The only race you can't win is the race against your past emotions. They'll always come back, and you'll always, as an actor, we are lucky we can use them. For some people, they just come back and they don't know what to do with it because they're not in this profession. So, yes, my thought process must have changed. I must be thinking like a father now than like a young boy who came down. My desires for things will be different. But I think emotionally and experience-wise, I would still delve deep into my past to be able to come out with an interesting take on a character.
You have actually, romanced umpteen women on screen. In Zero, when you were romancing Katrina and Anushka, how much different was it? Was it different, or?
An actor's struggle all his or her life, I think, is playing themselves on screen. The reason I play different roles is because I don't like playing myself. Otherwise, I'd be satisfied being a non-actor. The reason I like being someone else is because I don't want to express my own experiences in terms of my own feeling that, oh, I'm like this and this is good. So whenever I have to do a job where I have to romance a lady, I think more often than not, the ladies have helped me. They're very sweet, they love me, I love them, I have a very strong relationship with them. Most of them, from Sridevi to Alia. And as a matter of fact, they know my nature personally, and they can help me out in a character which is a little more outgoing, because we are friends and we are actors, and we know sometimes I may have difficulty doing a scene, romantic or otherwise. And similarly for them, I help them out. So whenever I've expressed romance in a film, it has to be from the character's point of view, what the director thinks is apt. So it always changes. There are lines in this film which are very different in Zero, where he says, "Kal raat 3:30 baje tak main aapse nafrat karta raha, fir 3:45 baje mohabbat ho gayi." Now that's not a line Rahul Raj will say. Yeah. Similarly, that's not a line where Kabir Khan will say when romancing a girl also, if he did. Or it's not the line which Devdas will say. They all have a different way of expressing their love. Devdas could unfortunately hit the girl he loves. There's so much hatred for her. Raj and Rahul, would go down on their knees and love them till the end of time, even if they were hating her. This guy is Baua, is perhaps a little not real. He doesn't mean it when he says it. He just says it because it sounds good. So somewhere down the line, is it the same expressing love to them? All these women are beautiful. I think every man in the world would like to express their love to these girls. So I feel that way as just an outsider. But as an actor, I've always expressed to them in a different character, hopefully. And each experience is different. And, you know, hopefully I'm able to create not only romance, but the attrition, the anger, sometimes the tension, differently than the other character, hopefully. But none of it is like me, to be honest.
In the trailer, we see that, you know, Baua has his, nose cut or something, blood is trickling down. And then the very next shot, we see there is this firecrackers all, you know, going off on the sky. So what is this thing all about? I mean, doesn't really make any sense, I mean, at that point in time.
It's actually, the film is about celebrating life, the incompleteness of life. So in the trailer, obviously, you pick out pieces which don't tell you the story, but give you an inkling of the story. Yeah, so there is a moment in his life which gets expressed with the scene that you talk about, where he's kind of lost. And the trailer ends on hope, that even if you're lost, life will give you a chance to celebrate yourself and itself. So I think the juxtaposition of these two happens, that you're seeing this guy who seems very lost and battered, but there is still going to be hope, hopefully, when you see the film.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that, I come to the end of this wonderful conversation with this magnanimous personality. My name is Sandip, with Hindustan Times Online, Desimartini.